Dear students, how are you? I hope you are fine. Today we will continue our class. In our previous class, we finished complex sentence, changing complex sentence into simple sentence. You know, this is a lengthy process. There are so many types of sentences. Today we will learn how to change compound sentences into simple sentences. You know the characteristics of compound sentences. There are two coordinating clauses in a compound sentence, and when we want to change any compound sentence, we will change a clause. We will change a clause and we will eliminate a subject and a finite verb, or we will at least eliminate a finite verb or change a finite verb. Okay, and we will totally eliminate a conjunction. That is, in a simple sentence, there will be a single clause, a subject and a finite verb without any conjunction. Okay, now see how we can change sentences. There are different types of compound sentences. Firstly, not only but also. You know, there is a conjunction with two phrases, not only but also. When we change such types of sentences, we are to use besides. Besides. This is not just beside. Beside mean near, and besides mean more, extra. Okay, so you have to notice this word carefully, besides. Thereafter we will use noun, that is, in these sentences there will be two subjects and two finite verbs, and we will use a noun after besides. Or if it is with two finite verbs, same finite verbs, then we will use a finite verb with ing form. Okay, firstly see the sentence. Not only Sabbir but not only Sabbir but also his friends are responsible for it. Dear students, you see, this is a compound sentence, and you see there is not only and but also. But also. And this is this conjunction connects two subjects, Sabbir and his friends. Firstly, you see, this is like a simple sentence because there is only one finite verb are. But actually there are two finite verbs, and as they are same, one has been omitted. Not only Sabbir is responsible, this is the first impression, not only Sabbir is responsible for it, but also his friends are responsible for it. Okay, so as the same type of verb comes, one is omitted here. Now we will legally omit this, okay, and we will use not we will use besides before not only, sorry, before sabbir, and this will totally go. It will remain no more as their conjunction. There will be no conjunction in a simple sentence. So solution is besides sabbir, you should use a comma. This will be good. Besides sabbir, his friends are responsible for it. This is simple sentence. We are changing into simple. So the first sentence is compound sentence and we have changed it into simple sentence. Besides sabbir, his friends are responsible for it. So it was the matter of two subjects. One subject was sabbir, another subject was my friends. Now the thing will be such that, or maybe such that, there are two verbs. Not only has been used for two verbs, and if it is for two verbs, we have to use besides before a verb, and that time that verb will be used in ing form and subject will be common. Suppose the sentence is he not only plays well, he not only plays well but also sings well. That is, the person is competent in two subjects, in two actions. That is, he plays well and he also sings well. Subject is the same. There is only subject he. Actually, he plays well and and he sings well. He sings well. So he does two things well, and the subject is common, he. And in this case, we find two verbs, plays well, sings well. Not only but also has been used before the verb, not before the subject, as you have seen previously in our first sentence. So we will use besides here. So besides playing well, and where is he? He will be used later on. We will use this, and without this he or without this subject, our sentence will not be complete. Besides playing, I am using ing form. This is called gerund. Why gerund? Why not present participle? Gerund because there is a preposition besides. Okay, after any preposition, if you have found any ing form verb, then you will call this a gerund, not present participle. But if there is no preposition, then this is present participle. Okay. Besides playing well, now I will use the subject, he. Besides playing well, he, another verb, sings oil. This is simple sentence. Simple. Simple. Besides playing well, he sings well. Okay. In this way, we can change when the verbs are to. Now, there may be such sentences that the objects are different. That is, in these sentences, we will find same subject with same verb, but object will be different, and we will use besides before that object. That is also noun. Subject is noun, object is noun. So, this is a change in place of noun. We will use besides here. Okay. Suppose a sentence, he took not only fish and meat, but also ice cream. This is the sentence. Actually, this is the matter of our lady guest. You understand that lady guest, it was she. Okay, I use here she. She took not only fish and meat, but also ice cream. Here, fish and meat, this is a phrase, and object of this verb took. This is the object of took. And actually, the conjunction is here not only and but also. Not only and but also. And you see, there is subject she, only she, because she is common here. She took fish and meat. And another clause is she took ice cream. Okay. As she took is common, we have used only she took. In compound sentences, this is in vogue. This is correct. But in complex sentences, such common things will not do. You have to write both the subjects clearly, both the verbs clearly. You could say in complex sentence, when she took fish and meat, she also took ice cream. You have to write clearly in complex sentences. However, we are talking about compound sentence and simple sentences here. Now, we will change before the object. What is the object of the first clause? Object is fish and meat. Another is ice cream. So, we will finish the work of our besides at the very beginning of the sentence. Besides fish and meat, besides fish and meat, she, that is she comes here. She took ice cream. I hope you have understood this, the use of besides in case of not only but also. We have another types of sentences. In compound sentences, we have sometimes or. If there is or, we may use in case of, in case of somebody's failure, Uh, we will firstly see the sentence and we will change this. Suppose the sentence is do as I say, do as I say, or leave the place. Do as I say or leave the place. This is one type of option. You have to do what I say, otherwise you will have to leave the place. This is the matter, and there is no further option. You have to abide by this rule, especially before me. Now we will use in case of here. If you do not do as I say, what will you do? You will have to leave the place. So we will use in case of here. If you can't do as I say, you will leave the place. And especially in the second part we use future tense, because you will have to do this. This is a must. So here usually in compound sentences we find no future, but when we use simple sentences you have to use verbs with shall, will. Okay. However, in simple sentences, in case of, who is doing this? There is no you or she. You will leave the place, but you is not mentioned. You is not mentioned. You is expressed or implied through the verb, through the tone of the sentence. And now I will make it clear. In case of your failure to do as I say, in case of your failure to do here, one thing is that if I use two clauses, the sentence will be compound or complex if there are two clauses, but you are to use always only one clause. So anyway we have to use only one clause. In case of your failure to do, failure to follow, here we will change the verb what I say. So failure to follow my saying, follow my saying. Why am I saying? Because I will not use this clause I say. That is why I am using my saying. In case of your failure to follow my saying, you will, this is the subject, you, and I am using the verb with will. You will leave the place. So there is a single clause. Thus clauses you will leave the, sorry, place, you will leave the place. Okay, another sentence, follow my example or you will grow fat. Follow my example. This is the instruction of the lady guest. Follow my example. Follow my example or you will grow fat. Okay. Now, the same structure you see, you are instructed to follow my example. Here sentence is imperative, you see, imperative sentence. In imperative sentence, we have no you when structurally the sentence is compound, but when we use it in simple sentences, we have to use a subject. Actually, there is a you follow my example, you will have to follow my example. Okay, however, in case of your failure, in case of your failure to follow my example, in case of your failure to follow my example, you will grow fat. You will be fat. Okay, in case of your failure to follow. So, if you fail to do one action, you will be victim to another action. In such cases, we use in case of failure. Actually, in case of your failure, usually we find such types of sentences. Okay, dear student, there are another type of sentence, time, related to time. You have seen or and you have seen not only but also, and you have and in compound sentences. Most of the sentences are used with the conjunction and is related to so many things, sometimes with reasons, sometimes with time, and sometimes with other things. Okay, so when we will find any time with and, what will we do? Okay, we will use a preposition, any preposition, and not any related preposition, preposition plus time. Okay, if we have any time in our sentence, it was winter. It was winter and I had no plan to travel outside the country. It was winter. it was winter. This is the first clause. Thereafter we find the conjunction and. Thereafter another clause. I had no plan to travel outside. So there are two clauses, one conjunction. And we will eliminate the conjunction and we will change one clause into a phrase. Then it will be a simple sentence. So when we are changing it into a simple sentence, what do we see? We see the time. What is the time? The time is winter. You know, we use different prepositions before different times. When we use any greater time or duration, usually months, year, season, we use in. When we use any day or date, suppose Sunday, Monday, in these places we use on, or date 20 February, 31st August. In this way we use date, and before any date, we use on. Sometimes we use time of a clock, that is 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. In this way, we use time of our watch, time of our clock. Then we use at. Okay. In this way, we use time, different prepositions before different times. There are some exceptions too. Suppose in is used for greater time, this is true, but in the morning, in the evening, we use in, and we know evening is not a broad time, a greater time. Morning somehow is not so little time, but evening is not so much. That is why this is exception, and we are to know these exceptions when we study prepositions. However, we will see here the time and we will decide which preposition we will use here. In winter, so this is season, and before season, undoubtedly we will use in winter. In winter, so the thing to do is already done. In winter, I had no plan. To travel outside the country. Okay, there will be no change afterwards. So in this way, we will change clauses with time. Another example may be mentioned. It was Monday. It was Monday when he came to see us. It was Monday when he came to see us. Okay. Sorry. I have used the preposition when, and the time this has been complex. This is compound. And it was Monday. It was Monday and he came to see us. Okay. Now you find the time Monday. So it is a day and we will use on before this Monday. I have already mentioned why I will use on Monday. So it was, this subject and verb will go. They will be eliminated. On Monday, he came to see us. Okay. In this way, we will work with time, and thereafter reason. We have so many sentences with reason and sentences with conjunction and. In case of reason, we may use present participle and such prepositional phrases as because of, on account of, okay, because of, on account of, or simply with present participle. Because of, or on account of. Nowadays, on account of is not usually used. We use actually because of. Because of. Suppose a sentence, you are lazy, you are, actually not you, my dear students, you are not lazy, you are so studious, I hope. This is only a sentence spoken to someone who is lazy. You are lazy and will suffer in the long run. Okay. So, there are two clauses. You are lazy. Another is you will suffer in the long run. And in compound sentences, if the subjects are the same, one is usually eliminated. Here, you is not written here for the second time. It has been eliminated in the second clause. You will suffer in the long run. This is implied. This is not clearly written here. But we are to consider this a compound sentence. So, in this sentence we find a cause. Why will you suffer in the long run? Because you are lazy. So, there is a cause. And where there is a cause, we can use because of. So, simple sentence is because of you, possessive, so because of your being, that is ing form of are, because this has been changed into being. Being, all the be verbs become being, am, is, are, all are being when ing form comes. Because of your being lazy, you will. I have clearly mentioned now you, this you, first you will suffer in the long run. You will suffer in the long run. Okay, this is one type. You could also use in another type, that is because of your laziness. Because of your laziness. It will also do. Perhaps it would be more good, that is, it would be better because of your laziness. Because of your laziness, you will suffer in the long run. Another thing, you could use simply present participle. Simply present participle. That is, being lazy, being lazy, being lazy, you will suffer in the long run. Being lazy, you will suffer in the long run. So, this is also correct. You can use any type you like. All are correct. Okay, in this way you can change conjunction with reasons. Now come to another type, that is, sometimes we have sentences with and conjunction and adjective. Sometimes we find a different clause with adjective. If we find such sentences, what will we do? We will use, in this case, the adjective before the noun. When we use adjective before the noun, our sentence automatically becomes a simple sentence. Suppose this is the common structure of English sentences. That is, firstly comes adjective, then comes noun. This is the common structure of a noun phrase. But sometimes adjective is detached from the noun. When we find any clause with a detached adjective, we take the adjective before the noun. Then the sentence becomes a simple sentence. A sentence, my close friend took a decision. My close friend took a decision and it was wrong. Took a decision, but it was wrong. If I say with this tone, this is also correct. Why? He has taken a decision, I have taken it positively. But this is wrong. The decision was wrong. When we find contrasting something, we use usually but in compound sentences. But sometimes writers write in a tone and they also use and in these cases. However, my close friend took a decision and it was wrong. Notice the second clause, and it was wrong, and it was wrong. Here it is subject, was is finite verb, and wrong is the adjective. So this is a detached adjective. So to whom this wrong is concerned? The wrong is connected with decision. It is related to decision. So, if we take this word wrong before decision, then the sentence becomes, my close friend took a wrong decision. Okay, complete, no matter My close friend took a wrong decision. So all these are unnecessary. These are not necessary. In this way, we can change the compound sentence with adjective into a simple sentence. Okay. Now, we see sometimes we use perception verbs. In compound sentences, usually perception verbs are used at the second clause, and usually when we change it into simple sentence, we bring the perception verb at the beginning of the sentence. Perception verb, you know, verbs which are related to our perception. You know, see, hear, watch, know, understand. These are mental process. I don't see you only if I look at you. I am looking at you and I am thinking about America. I am thinking about Indian Ocean. Okay, actually I don't see you. So the matter of seeing is different. It is a mental process. This type of verb is called perception verb. And if we have such type of verb, we have to use these verbs at the beginning of the sentence. Then we should use the object. We will change the subject of the first clause into an object, and thereafter we will complete the sentence. Suppose there is a sentence, she is a girl and she is a girl, good girl, and I know that. She is a good girl. I am praising the girl, and I know that. There is a plain statement, she is a good girl. Okay. Thereafter conjunction and, thereafter I know that. And I will change this into a simple sentence. Simple. Okay. Then what will I do? I see a perception verb here. I know that, I know this. So know, this know is perception verb. And I will change this. How? I will take the perception verb as the verb of first clause. So I will start in this way. I know. I know what? I know that. What is that? That she is a good girl. So this is actually going to be the object of the verb know. This clause will be the object of the verb know. So I know what? That she is a good girl. And as I will use only a single subject and no two subjects, I will change this subject into objective form. So what is the object of she? Objective form of she is her. So I know her. Then I will have to change the be verb to is. I know her to be. I am changing this into infinitive. To be. I know her to be a good girl. In this way, we can change the compound sentence into simple sentence. I work in a coal factory and you see this. If I state this sentence, you will say, you see me working in a coal factory. In this way, we will change now Another type of sentence that is in complex sentence we find if, and in compound sentences in compound sentences we use and. And there is a condition here. In this case, there is a way to do something, and if there is a way, we usually use by. By. That is, if we are able to do one thing, or if we do one thing, another thing comes. Suppose, try at most. This is sentence with by plus gerund. By plus gerund. After by, ing form verb will be called gerund because by is preposition. At most to your capability. Utmost, try utmost to your capability, and you can expect success. Try utmost to your capability and you can expect success. This is a compound sentence, you see, and we will change this into a simple sentence. Simple. So, what will we do? We will use by. This is the way. Way to do something, try utmost to your capability. That is, you have capacity or capability to do something, and you have to try your best. Then you can expect your success. So, what is the way to your success? The way is to try utmost to your capability. This is why we are using by trying. By trying utmost to your capability, you can expect success. There will be no change afterwards. There will be no change afterwards. And you know, when we change, this is very common. I have brought this problem before you at the end of the class, because this is quite common. When there is any but, we use in spite of or despite. In spite of or despite. When we find any conjunction with but, you know, such type of sentences are just contrasting, and we use in spite of or but. I told him so many things. I told him so many things. I told him so many things, but he did not pay heed to me. But he did not pay heed to me. This is a contrasting sentence using conjunction but. Very, very easy. In spite of. In spite of. Okay, this is prepositional phrase. So, subject will be possessive and we will use ing form of the main verb. Okay, in spite of my telling in spite of my telling him so many things, in spite of my telling him so many things, comma, he did not pay heed to me. There will be no change afterwards. We have changed the first clause, beginning clause, in spite of my telling him so many things. Okay, in this way we can change, and only simple thing is using present participle. Present participle, only using a present participle we can change a compound sentence into simple sentence, present participle. This is also a way to make a simple sentence. This is also a way. Suppose a sentence, I know a teacher and he teaches in Rajshahi College. I know a teacher and he teaches in Rajshahi College. So here you find the conjunction and another thing is perception is beginning clause is in beginning clause, and what is the next clause? He teaches in Rajshahi. So how can we eliminate teaches? He teaches. We cannot eliminate this. Rather, we will make it a present participle. Present participle, and in this case you see teacher and he are the same. So this is very easy. I know a teacher. I know a teacher teaching. I know a teacher teaching in Rajshahi College. Okay. I know a teacher teaching in Rajshahi College. So this is just present participle. Present participle. In this way, we can use present participle, and this may happen at the very beginning of the sentence. And our last example is, he visited some foreign countries. He visited some foreign countries and he drew our attention. So there are two actions. Firstly, he visited some foreign countries. His next action is he drew our attention. So there are two actions, and we will use present participle for the first action. Subject is the same. So visiting some foreign countries. Our sentence will be visiting some foreign countries, visiting some foreign countries, comma. Then he drew our attention. Okay. In this way we can change sentences. So many sentences. There are other sentences in compound sentence, but it is not possible to bring before you all the sentences together. Try to change such types of sentences and work with more exercise. And the more you do this, the more you take exercise, the more you get competent. So, dear students, this is just the end for the today. Thank you so much.